Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about cultural diversity. According to what you read in the breakout rooms and your articles, who would like to start with the first presentation? Who would like to explain what is cultural diversity?
Well, me, I can
Mm-hmm.
start. Yes. Well, in the reading that we already have, I can notice that there they talk about the importance to understand what is cultural diversity, and in this case, they explain that is something that we have in our daily days in in the place that we where we belong, and in this case. And they explain about our identity and how our context influencing our way to be and our behavior. And um, well, in this case also um, explain that our culture empower ourselves to be in one part of a one group of people. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. Oman?
Okay. My reading talk about how to put in practice cultural diversity. It says that it's important to know that this is a phenomenon that is you can practice in your life daily, like Vanna says. But what I see that is more important is that how multi diversity can expand the frontiers of yourself. And one of the benefits of that is that you can interact with other people in another country. You can mix all the ideas and break these boundaries about culture. Uh, and one of the things that really matters for me is that the reading says that you can implement innovation between different people that are in different countries that have different ideas to make different opportunities and especially the problem solving.
Okay. Do you see any difference here in our country related to cultural diversity? Have you ever noticed it in our own country?
Mm,
Bane?
Yes, well, talking about in the north, they already have another ways to celebrate some traditions in our country, and if we go more to the south, we can notice another ones, and can be more traditional in the south than in another parts in the country.
Omar, what do you think about this? Do you think that Vane is saying something that is our reality in our country, or is this something that you haven't noticed?
yeah, I think I have noticed because our country, Mexico, is a multi-diversity country. You can see, in fact, that I live in the same country. You can see that there is a different kind or different group of people that have different complete cultures, ideas, traditions. And for me, for example, that I was born in Mexico City. When I arrived in San Luis Potosí, it was like a, to learn different type of ideas and the people living here. So I believe that I was such a challenge to understand the kind of live of this new city compared with I was used to see in my daily days. So yes, of course, it's a phenomenon that is we are part of it.
Very good. So, how do these culture differences affect the way people interact with each other? Like you said a little while ago, coming from Mexico City was difficult for you. How or where did you find this difficulty?
Mm,
Can you give me an example?
Yes.
uh, see, first, what I can say that is difficult to me the first days interact with other people here in San Luis Potosí.
Why was
Uh,
it so difficult, Omar?
mm, to learn different words that it's common use here, but in Mexico City,
Mhm.
no. Like the word feria to refer at the
To
money,
change.
the change of
Hmm.
money when you buy something. And I was, oh my God, what is that meaning? And the word feria is like, what kind of word?
Well, that was a
Uh,
very good
Example.
Example.
example, no? Vane,
But
have you ever been affected with this kind of interaction and this
Um,
culture diversity?
yes, es- especially with Feria, we already have another one friend who belongs to, well, come from Tampico, and she say the same. She never used this kind of words, or she used another kind of expressions to refer to different things that we have in our culture. And another thing that we have already here in San Luis Potosí, for example, in my case, I never live in another place. I'm I notice that people say that we don't speak a lot, or when we walk in the street, we never say hi, maybe with another ones, or they feel people who come from another place, they feel that we don't want to say hi or something like that. But I notice that is something very common in our um, yes, in our city, and this is one comment that I receive constantly from another ones, that is very common in to us. Don't have this kind of behavior with other ones. And yes, these words like feria, bofo, that is another expression that we use, that actually I don't know the meaning that, but I can use that, or maybe I can understand when other ones say that word to me. Yes, and I notice another things, and now I don't have an specific example for word, but for example, um, the party where we celebrate in when we have 50, we say quinceañera, but refers to the person, and 15 años for refers to the party. And another places refers to the party like quinceañera, no to the person. They say we're going to the quinceañera, and for me it's very strange because no, for me is I'm going to the 15 años, and this is
Uh-huh.
another thing that we notice that is different. Or the way to eat, for example, in Mexico City, they have the quesadillas without cheese, and we say no, we have to have the cheese in the tortilla, but it's something that we have different, and we don't are too far away. Mexico is maybe 5 hours or four, from yes, we have to travel not too much to arrive to this place, and we have these changes.
This culture diversity.
Okay.
You had the explanation. Well, you gave us an example of the word feria. What is the way that you usually express it, Omar, in
I
Mexico City?
use I, I use the word cambio.
Oh, okay. It's very similar to the
To
change,
English.
no?
Change.
Okay, that's wonderful. I had never noticed this before, but it's very interesting. Um, have you ever, any of you two, ever experienced a culture shock? And if you have, can you describe this experience? A culture shock that really impact you?
Well, I already have one,
Mhm.
where I work. We receive one woman who comes to another country. I think near to the Indian, or something like that. One country with that kind of culture, and this woman speaking English to us, and in this case, this woman wear an special cloth in their head, and also when she tried to explain herself, or when she talked to us, she speak very slow, with so quiet, and you have to pay so much attention to understand what she say, and we speak so loud. with noise, and we speak faster, and even with many kind of expressions in our hands and in the body. And this woman, I didn't notice that with when she tried to explain herself. And for me that was different because, well, in that moment I didn't have this well, I cannot explain myself very well in that moment. But I noticed the another person who tried to explain, they change a lot, or they look so different in their ways to talk.
Okay. Omar?
Yes, I have another. This history is not mine. It's from a friend. She traveled to Germany, and this story is actually fun because his mates that are working with her tell that uh, give it a fruit, an apple, for example, and tell me, did you know this fruit? And my friend says, of course, yes. There is a lot in Mexico. He said, oh my God, they think in Germany people think that in Mexico there are no fruits, and actually it's kind of weird because Mexico is one of the countries that produces more of the fruits that import in so many countries. So it was funny because my friend was like some shock because yes, the Germany people think that we don't know most of the fruits here in the country.
That's so true. I just was introduced to this person from Korea, and my cultural shock was that they don't have horses in Korea. And she came to San Luis Potosí, she went to the fair, and she finally, for the first time, touched a horse.
Wow.
Because you can see a horse in Korea in a zoo, but you can't touch it. And here at the fair, it was like she went really crazy with the horse because she finally saw a real life horse. So for me, this was a culture impact. No, it was a
Yeah.
shock for me because I thought you they had the same animals as we did, but no, totally different. Okay, would you like to ask each other questions about anything related to cultural diversity and what you read about your little article,
Mm,
or would you want me to continue asking you questions?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you think cultural difference can be a source of misunderstanding or it can also cause a conflict?
um Maybe some expressions that we can
Okay.
have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we here in Mexico we have one way to be with another ones. For example, um, between women and men, we have one way to be each other, and in another countries with another culture, they maybe don't have the same. Freedom to be together, or the same details to have in their behavior, and maybe that can be one shock. Or for example, me as a woman, maybe I can have some expressions or my way to wear clothes, and they can notice that like a one unrespectful thing. And I think that that can be one problem in another country. Or here in Mexico, actually, with the previous I say that we have this thing that we don't speak a lot, or we don't say hi, maybe some people here, and another ones can notice that like one thing that, oh, you are so meaning to me, or you don't want to be with me, or you are not my friend. And that can be one shock near to us, and this can have one
Yes.
problem if you don't
Mm-hmm.
explain.
It can cause a conflict, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Omar?
Mm, I think religion could be an
Oh,
important
yeah.
topic that can cause problems between people that have different ideas. I believe is when you are not prepared to accept the ideas of another people, and in fact that religious can make um, mm, can make that people doesn't feel comfort with different kind ideas. Mm, mm, I believe that is important to understand and be respectful with the ideas that another person have. Mm, um, what can else I can say? Mm, be open mind is the word that I use. Open mind that accept that we all grown up with different kind of education traditions and most of the religions can impact between each other. So I believe this is a relevant topic for that multicultural diversity can can provoke some
Okay.
problems between people.
Very good.
Yes.
Omar, a little while ago, Vane told us that she hasn't traveled to another country. Have you had this experience in your life? Have you
Uh,
traveled to another country?
no, I haven't traveled in another
No.
country.
Okay. So then, in this case, we would just refer our cultural difference within our same country. Um, do you think that respecting and appreciating cultural difference is essential?
Yes, of course.
Why?
Mm, like I say, when you can take ideas from different people, you can mix it, and you can make a more richer experience for everyone. When I say that, I'm referred to mm, most of the people that are travelers around the world. When you talk with this kind of people, you enrichment yourself when with the kind of things that I told you. I don't know how much to say. And
Mhm.
so of the many culture expressions like books, art paintings, songs are created when different kind of ideas can be mixed. Is like a more pleasant experience than when you can combine all these
Okay. Thank you. Vane?
Yes, well, in my case, I'm agreed, and also this can help us to resolve problems. For example, if we have, in this case, something related to environment, we can resolve problems with understanding the traditions or culture to another countries. Maybe we can resolve some problems and give some advices, or maybe put together all these opinions to know what to do with some problems, or related to politics, related to um, yes, well, problems between maybe countries or something like that. Understand the um, way to be or thinkings or culture in different places help, or in my opinion, to have peace, or to have the answer to resolve in any kind of problem. And another thing, yes, increase your mind, increase your experience, your culture also. And it's something very important to us, uh, have this kind of experience to improve our own life.
Okay. Omar, do you agree with this, or would you like to add something to what Vane just said?
Mm, I agree.
You
Mm,
agree? Okay. Very good. Would you like to add like a little conclusion to what is cultural diversity? In this case, just to make a closure. or would you like to ask each other questions? I don't know. It's, remember, a part of collaborating with each other, no?
Yes. Well, one question to Omar.
Okay.
Uh, um, have you ever experienced one shock, cultural shock in your life, plus the examples that you already give us with the feria? Have you another example or yes, experience that you
Experience.
give?
Hmm.
Yes, I I I think the food one was one of the most difficult challenge that I have to go through because in Mexico City I was I missed the word.
Hmm.
mm, and the food that eat in Mexico City was kind of different here in San Luis Potosí. So I need to adapt, and in how the food is called was kind of weird. You mentioned it earlier with the example of quesadillas that it would not have cheese, and I don't know. For example, the food that called flauta in Mexico
Mm,
City are still like a taco but bigger, really large. And when I came here and ordered a flautas, they give me a little small taco and roll it with a little amount of beef. So it was like I don't like this, but yeah, I need uh, to
to adapt
accept
your
that
food.
there are different kind of food in this city, and
Yes.
Okay. Omar, would you like to ask any questions to Vani?
mm, Vanessa, what do you think mm, could be an important improvement to practice cultural diversity?
Um, I think the best way to practice is live that. Go to the place that you wanted to learn, the culture that you want to learn, go there and learn what people do in their daily days. Because we can read that, we can listen about that, but only if you live that, you're going to understand um, more and you're going to appreciate and respect more this kind of cultures. Yes.
Anything
Traveling
else?
and
Yes.
and traveling and know people of other countries.
Yes.
It's like deal with going outside your comfort zone.
And
Totally. I think that it's the best thing that you should live like the culture diversity from another country, another place, another city, etc. In order to well, to get to know the diversity, no, and the different things that people live in different places, no.
yes.
Well, I really appreciate your help in with this class and for letting me record this class as well. And well, thank you very much. And like I said one more time, and in previous classes, remember that it is important always to, well, in this case, you have the recordings so you can see your mistakes and probably write them down. And when you have listened to them and checked them, maybe you can practice a little bit by reinforcing and reproducing what you said in previous moments.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to um, stop the recording.
Yes.